Hey guys, so this is Dr. Lawal Sala once again of NYC Emerging Healthcare Technology, your go-to place if you want to learn more about blockchain, machine learning, artificial intelligence, web development, data science in healthcare, and also if you want to learn more about digital health. So today I'm so excited because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you actually or tell you, have this nice conversation with you if you want to learn more on how I grew my channel from 0 to 200 in a span of 2 months. Yes, 2 months. So if you look at my channel clearly, you will be able to see that I actually started my channel in 2020, January of this year, but I was only able to create content during the pandemic, which is one of the which is around July actually. It started March, but I started my channel or created contents around June, July, somewhere like that. July, August, September. So yeah, so around July. So I was able to grow my channel from 0 to 200, and these are some of the tips and tricks that I wanna tell you actually. So, but before I do that, as a caveat, what I wanna really emphasize or focus on is to tell you that when you have a channel, it's important to have a clear-cut objective on what you wanna do with the channel. So that channel may be, for example, for entertainment, or it will be a DIY, or do it yourself, or it will be for information. It's important to have this early on so that you can you're able to actually have a clear objective, so you're able to have interest or nice videos that really focus towards that specific objective. Now, if you don't know me yet, so I'm Dr. Sala. Hello, by the way. So I'm a physician, and I spent 10 years in clinical medicine, 2 years in pharmaceutical medicine, and then 3 years in web development, which is why I wanted to focus or create this channel really to talk about emerging healthcare technologies, or technologies that are affecting healthcare substantially. I mean, for especially in this day and age, especially in 2020, especially with the pandemic that's happening right now. So that's me. So what are my tips actually? Sometimes I digress. So what are my tips actually? So the first thing that I wanna assess, other than having a clear-cut objective, is if you have friends, for example, everyone has friends. So talk to your parents, tell your mother, your father, tell your friends, your lovers, your significant others, your colleagues that you are making a YouTube channel. And this is very important because at the end of the day, these are the first supporters. No one knows you yet in YouTube, so these are your first supporters who know you and who actually will vouch for you, and who have this nice, I mean, they know you, they understand you, and these people are actually the first people, your core group actually, who will help you and support you and make that first 100 subscribers. So it's important to use your Facebook, use your Instagram, for me, for example, I use my LinkedIn because again, I was really focused on having this digital health platform or a digital health channel, and this is why I use my colleagues, because most of my colleagues are, for example, physicians, undergraduates, pharmaceutical specialists, pharmaceutical sales, for example, and some of them are in the academe, which is why I use LinkedIn for that matter. And also another thing that you could also create your own group. Like, for example, I have my own meetup group, which is the NYC Emerging Healthcare Technology. So this is also another alternative that you can do by creating your own meetup group. We're able to get these initial people who are interested in the topic or the content that you're making. And of course, no sub for sub, because ultimately you're gonna do your channel, you're gonna make your channel look bad, and everything's gonna fall apart if you do sub for sub. So the third thing that I wanna talk about is the Google Analytics now, or SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. So when we talk about, so this is interesting, when you look at a lot of YouTube creators who advise on how to create or how to make your first 100 subscribers, they will tell you a lot about tags, about titles, really all this metadata on how the YouTube algorithm, or how to make your videos be recommended by the YouTube algorithm. But even now, no one really knows what's this? No one really knows how the algorithm works, because it's ultimately an AI, or a machine learning, or an artificial intelligence that really helps, that really connects people, for example, people looking for those specific topics. So it's important to look at your Google Analytics, specifically your CTR and your audience retention. CTR stands for click-through rates, and it's important to have to have a high click-through rate. It's important to have a very good thumbnail. But again, a good thumbnail will only get you very far. Ultimately, what you wanna do, or you wanna create, is have this really good content, so that when people have or go or click through your very good thumbnail, they'll be able to stay longer. And that is really ultimately what YouTube wants, because they want, for example, YouTube actually wants the person, for example, to stay longer in YouTube. So this is why it's important to have a good click-through rate, which can be done through a very nice or good thumbnail. And in terms of the content, the audience retention, I mean, you have to have good audience retention if you have a good content. So that's another thing that I wanna focus on or discuss on. So look for searchable and clickable, for example, clickable titles or tags, because these are important in having virality, for example, so that you should also look at trends, for example. And another thing that again I want to discuss on is really coming up with your own niche. Now this is slightly controversial, because if you look at, for example, PewDiePie, for example, a lot of YouTubers who already have like 100 million subscribers, a lot of them will really, I mean, if you look at their contents, there are a lot of, like, a hodgepodge of different contents. One day, for example, he could be doing about Minecraft, and then they talk about himself, and they talk about, so all these things. But you have to understand that these YouTubers already have a lot of followers, so they can manage to expand their content. But for someone like a young YouTuber or a relatively new YouTuber, it's important really to niche down, to look at your content and really focus on a specific niche, so that people will know you more, and the algorithm will actually be able to help you recommend your videos. So you have more views, and once you have more views, chances are you'll also have more subscribers coming through to your channel. And so that is the technical aspect of having a high subscriber, increasing your subscriber rate. Another aspect that I really want to delve on or focus on is having this mindset, having this growth mindset. Now as if you've been following me, I was extremely lucky in 2018, because I was able to be accepted and attended the MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Grand Hackathon here in New York City, which really changed my trajectory towards healthcare. Understanding how these technologies merge in helping create a better healthcare system. And one of the things that I learned from that competition was really looking at problems, and then not really looking at your credentials. So having an open mindset really does not really talk about what you've learned or where you came from. As long as you are open to these new ideas, and sometimes like hardcore physicians, colleagues of mine that I know, have very strict, rigid definition on how things should be, right? And the thing that I learned in that competition was really looking, if you wanna, for example, solve the problem, you have to look at it in different aspect or in different perspectives. And that's, I think, the problem with when you're engrossed in a specific field, for example, like healthcare, it really closes your doors to really the possibility of creating solutions, which is why I think it's important, especially if you're starting a YouTube channel and if you wanna have more subscribers, to open up yourself to to new ideas, new contents, looking at how to improve your channel, and because of these ideas, it actually help you to have more subscribers in the long run. And another thing that I wanna talk about is have this mindset that is open for improvement. Now, there are a lot of criticisms out there in the world. You'll once you start having 100, 200 subscribers, they're actually telling you that if you have your first troll or your first dislike, then that's actually one of the signs that says that you've made it a little bit, because you finally have somebody disliking you. What I want to what this is what I want to focus on. If somebody dislikes you in YouTube, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because it's still considered engagement. So dislike all the way. If you think about it, like because it's still considered engagement, and YouTube considers it as engagement. So it's still important to recognize this, and at the same time open yourself to constructive criticism. Now, if somebody tells you that your thumbnail needs or you need to make better thumbnails, and then do that. Look at other YouTubers, look at tutorials, and there are a lot actually in YouTube. If you want to use Canva, for example, if you want to use Photoshop, you can use all this all this armamentarium actually that will help you create or make better thumbnails. And it all boils down to really having this place in your heart and your soul to have a room for improvement, to open yourself to improvement, open yourself to criticism, constructive criticism, and understanding that all these things are actually there to help you create better and much more efficient and much more longer lasting contents or videos. And I think the other thing that I wanna again emphasize on, especially with the growth mindset, is to celebrate your wins. Like for example, like right now, as I mentioned, I only have 200 followers. Actually, it's 204 today, and I'm extremely grateful that you're listening to this. Now, I'm extremely grateful that you're subscribing, and I'm extremely grateful that you are hopefully subscribing, or you are hopefully thinking of subscribing to my channel. It's important because I think as human beings, we only have a limited lifespan, and it's important to really celebrate small wins. Like if you have your first 100 subscribers, and create a YouTube video on that one, because it's important so that once you get big, for example, even if you don't get big, you will remember those moments, because it is really those moments that define and create and shape who you are eventually as as a YouTuber, and eventually who you are as a person. And there's this aspect, there's this song. If you've watched your RuPaul's Drag Race, and I was go back to it because there's really something philosophical about drag queens that I wanna share. There's this song, it's called the Mirror Song, and one of the things that they talk about is the greatest thing you can do, or the greatest thing that you can do is become an image of your own imagination. And I think this is something that's important, especially for YouTubers, if you want to have more subscribers, being true to yourself, being real with your authentic self, and really shaping or believing in yourself that you can ultimately become the image of your own imagination. And for me personally, as a physician, I got a lot of negative feedback, especially from some of my colleagues, telling me that, why are you doing YouTube, for example? This is bad, or this is not, even don't do YouTube because you only, it's like selling yourself. Or some people, I have this colleague who actually, said, she raised her eyebrows when I told her that I was starting this YouTube channel, because I don't think she understands not only the complexities of all this analytics, this data analytical tools that you actually do, or when you create your YouTube channel, all the things that you have to learn. I don't think she understood that, but really there's this sector, there's a section of the academy that thinks that when you're doing YouTube, you're somewhat below them because you're technically selling yourself. But I always beg to disagree, because I mean, 50 years from now, 20 years from now, who knows, but YouTube could still be there, and it's important to really share what you've learned for the generations to come. And this is why I want to tell you actually to create your own YouTube channel, because you want to be able to have this ability to give back to the future generation, to the lost generation, so to speak, to share. You have an obligation to share your skills, everything that you learned, because with what's happening with climate change, with COVID-19, with all this pandemic, with all 2020 is bad in itself. With all these things happening, it's important for you to recognize that you have a responsibility to share your skills, your talents, to the future generation, or even to people who are listening to this, people who are viewing YouTube, because you have to have that social consciousness to share what you learned to the future generation. So I think that's the end. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure to click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you will be able to hear and see every time I upload new videos and new contents.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.